Shalom. First of all, I start off by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to teachers, elders, and the apostles of great millstone, likewise, brothers, but know the truth. Faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep and do brothers and sisters tuning in. Shalom. Today's lesson is titled, You Are Not Obligated to Listen to Us. Before we go any further, let's take a look at the word obligated and its meaning. Obligated means to be legally, morally, or emotionally bound to do something. It implies a strong duty or requirement, leaving little choice in the matter. Now, for you jakes that, you mock and you scoff and you think that somehow you may be obligated to listen to us, well, we are not forcing you to, okay? However, the prophets are obligated, okay, by command from the Mashiach, who were equally called Jesus Christ, to do this work. Let's go into our first scripture here. This is the book of Ezekiel 37, and starting with verse 9, and it reads, Then said he unto me, Prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, Thus said the Lord power, Come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. And that exceeding great army is the believers. Okay, starting with the elders, the apostles, the brothers, okay, and the believers, the ones that are not scoffing, okay, or think that they're too high to be corrected by men who the world will consider to be a base, okay, meaning so-called blacks, Native Americans, Latinos, and Hispanic men that are doing the works of the Mashiach, okay. Let's go into Ezekiel 2, and starting with verse 3, it reads, And he said unto me, Son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that had rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me, even unto this very day. Okay, we wicked, all of us. Okay, we transgress against the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. All of us did. Okay, now the difference is you have those that repented, those have heard the word and obeyed the words. Continuing, it says, For they are impudent children and stiff-hearted. I do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto them, Thus said the Lord power. See, this is coming from the Lord, Yahweh, Yahushai, who y'all call God and Jesus, not from us. This is not our doctrine. Continuing, it says, And they, whether they will hear, or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house, yet shall know that there had been a prophet among them. Okay, so when all these things come to pass, when you have no one to speak to you, tell you what's going to happen next, okay, or what's happening right now, then you would know and realize as you take your last breath, or you're in some internment camp, or you're looking up and seeing those thermonuclear missiles pelting on Great Babylon, America, or the jaws of a ferocious beast clamping down your throat as you gasp, or a bullet whizzing past your head, or a sword, an actual knife or something like that, go into your intestine, gutting you out. Yeah, it sounds graphic, but then you will know that there was a prophet amongst you that warned you about that, right? Continue, it says, And thou, son of man, be not afraid of them, neither be afraid of their words, though briars and thorns be with thee, and thou dost dwell among scorpions. Because see, the Lord will refer to you as scorpions. And what do scorpions do? They like to sting and bite, and that's what y'all do. Okay? Be not afraid of their words, nor be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. Now, take a look at everything that's going on around the world. And what do we talk about? Destruction, plagues, famine. Okay? All these are the works of the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. It's in the news daily.
A massive development in Joslin, Illinois, where the hundreds of cars you see now on your screen were people who found out that their jobs at the Tyson plant were gone.
They were funneled into the cafeteria to receive a letter that many say felt like a betrayal.
People started fighting, people were yelling, people were crying. I know people that have been here for 30 plus years. I know people that have been here as little as 3 days.
Tyson says the decision comes down to economics.
In that same speech, the president also addressed the economic pain that many Americans are feeling as a result of this war, and he promised it will be worth it. Listen here.
For you to pay a tiny little bit more for your gasoline. Just remember, you're doing it so that a very evil country cannot have a country. Really, it's the #1 state sponsor of terror in the world. They have no leadership. Their leadership is gone. Their first tour is gone. Their second tour is gone. Their third tour is half gone. That's one of my problems. There's nobody to negotiate with. It is a problem.
Now you saw in that clip, all right? Earthquakes, economic, woes. 2,700 people just lost their job last week out there, that Tyson factory out there. Out there in that state. Okay, and you can see, and I added the additional clip with the lady crying. Okay, the Edomites. Okay, it might not seem like a big deal of a job, to people who might be making, 8 figures or 6 or 7 figures or whatever the case is in some corporate, big major corporation, but they're factory workers, and that's all they've known. And this is all over the United States. Okay, you get this wicked king of yours. Okay, it's telling you that you need to suffer more so that they can get rid of this guy, these Iranians, because they're the terror of this earth. No, the so-called white man is a terror. He is the terror on this earth, and he's looking at you and telling you, just wait a little while. You should wait, because it's going to get a hell of a lot worse. Okay, let's go into 2nd Ezra 9 and start in verse 4, about verse 1. It reads, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the sign pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So see, 2 things you can take from these precepts. 1, the earth was created by who? The Most High, Yahweh Shai. Okay? The Most High, the Father gave the order, the Son did the creation. And the Father, the Most High, approved it. That's why in each part of the creation, he approved it and say, move to the next stage, move to the next stage. All right? This wasn't some evolution or just big bang. Okay? And that's why if he created it, and create everything, he can tell you what is going to happen next. And that's what we prophesy. Okay, so we measure the time diligently. I just showed you those video clips. That's the time we're in right now. Job losses, you can't make ends meet. Okay, famine, okay, it's going to be taking place. Civil unrest, wars, okay, across this earth. That's where we're at right now. Let's go into the book of Matthew 24, and starting with verse 6, it reads, And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of war. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And that's why we're not troubled, because we know part of this war is that great Babylon America. The United States of America is going to lose horribly in this war. Okay? And that's what we're looking forward to, the destruction of great Babylon America. This is our prison camp. If any of you have ever been in jail or incarcerated before, wouldn't it be nice if the jail walls just crumble down and you could just walk out? Exactly. That's how we feel. We feel trapped. Okay, imagine being gods trapped in this damn prison hole, man, in weak bodies. It says, For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Okay, and that's why we like to give glory and honor to Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. You people deserve every bit of it, all of you. Okay, let's go to Isaiah 19, start verse 1. It reads, The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord Yahweh shall ride upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Prepare yourself, people. You see us out there, posters, scriptures. We're telling you, at some point in time, you're going to turn the sword on your neighbor. They're going to turn their sword on you. You're going to turn the sword on your dad. Your dad's going to turn the sword on you, your sister, okay, your brother. It doesn't matter. Okay, and it's go from town to town, to city, state to state. Okay, in case y'all don't know, the United States actually has 10 different districts, basically. Okay, Texas, where I'm at right now, is district number 6. And 6 is the devil number. And I happen to be living in a town. If you saw that movie, The Final Purge, this town was featured in it. Okay, go figure, all right? But we're telling you, okay, it's going to get real diabolical out here, man. Right now, you're hearing about people, losing electricity and actually we lost power for about 10 seconds yesterday, but there's still power outages out here. All right. And you've seen this all over the place out there in Indiana, whole town washed out, lives destroyed. And the good thing about it is that the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is specifically targeting these 99.9% Edomite communities. And that's a glorious, beautiful thing. To Yahweh Shema Shai, Bashim Kakadash for that, destroying these Edomites, destroying our enemies. Okay. We love the perfect judgment that the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is bringing to our enemies. Okay. Starting, of course, with the Edomites, which are the so-called white people. You're so racist. I'm not racist. I'm a prophet. I preach what the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai told me to preach, which is the destruction of you Edomites. All right, let's go into 2nd Ezra 15, starting with verse 15, and it reads, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh." Let's go to verse 14. It reads, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." I think there's a future. I believe in Trump. Make America great again. Why don't you blacks stop talking about us hanging you and burning down your place and doing all those horrible things to you? I didn't do it. It was my great grandparents. Stop making excuses. You're gonna suffer for what they did, which is you. We don't care. It says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people should stand up and fight against another, swords in their hands." So you can have niggers and spicks fighting against each other. Okay, the 2/3. Then they're gonna be joining up with the Edomites to go fight against each other. The Edomites are gonna side with the so-called blacks and Latinos to fight against other Edomites, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And in the mix of that, you're gonna have the Asians, them getting their lick in too, and it's gonna be a battle royal here. For there should be sedition among men, and men invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the cause of their actions shall stand in their power. Wait until nobody gives a crap about the law. And that's gonna really happen when these Edomites realize they got nothing to lose, nothing to live for anymore. Once they don't have nothing to live for anymore, that's when you're going to see these cops. And see, the Lord is going to pay back you, these law enforcement officers that joined the force to simply go put Jake in the spirit world, to have the ability unlawfully with their badge in their hand to put a bullet in Jake's head and kill Jake and get away with it. Y'all gonna hunt our people down and you get away with it. But guess what? The Lord is going to have these Edomites, because see, sooner or later, when you pull over Edomites, they're going to put you in the spirit world. And then that's going to be a trend. Oh yeah. Don't think y'all got away with doing what y'all doing to us. Okay. That's why I read before, Egyptians against Egyptians. Going to be these highly trained veterans, Edomites, pissed off. You got a pot to pissing and nothing to live for. That's going to dish out the Lord's vengeance on you. So Jake don't need to be armed. A man shall decide to go in the city and should not be able to. Why? Because there ain't gonna be no doggone city. It ain't gonna be all burned down and looted. Okay, for real. For because of their pride, the city should be troubled. The houses should be destroyed, and men should be afraid. You're gonna be so scared. Men are gonna be so scared because you're not gonna know what's going on. And here's the thing right here. Keep this in mind. It says, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, the modern day gun," because the sword simply is not going to be enough. And spoil their goods, meaning they're going to take it. They're not going to ask for it. They're going to take it because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Yeah, you think your neighbors are friendly? But they're watching you, okay? So we're telling you what? Be prepared to defend your household. Stand your ground. That's basically what it comes down to, okay? Let's close with the book of Ezekiel 33 and start verse 32. It reads, "And lo, thou art unto them," talking about us, "a very lovely song of one that had a pleasant voice." So I've had people that walk into my camp and go, "Wow, that is so majestic. That the robe I wear out there, the sackcloth, that is so majestic, and the jewelry and all that stuff." And they just look and they just think like they're watching, I don't know, like a Christmas play or something like that, especially in December. Okay, they think that they're watching some type of sideshow, like a play or something, medieval or something like that. Because we look like we dress up like medieval. And the way we speak, proper, and reading scriptures, we seem so docile, and, So it says right here, it says, "And lo, thou art unto them a very lovely song of one that had a pleasant voice and can play well on an instrument. For they hear thy words," we're telling you about the warning, who you are, the warning, repent, "but they do them not," because it's a joke. Y'all think it's a joke, and that's fine. That's why the lesson is titled, "You're not obligated to listen to us." And when this comment to pass, meaning everything we tell you about it, because we told y'all about what? Don't take the jab. Y'all did, and what happened? Now y'all, a lot of y'all go in the spirit world, you're sick. Okay, we told you about the economic destruction of Great Babylon. All those things, and much more. Lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet had been among them. Yeah, it's not a title. A prophet is basically someone who's a messenger, and that's what we do. We bring you the messenger, the message from Yahweh Shai, and it is what? Repent now while you have the chance, because guess what? The option is going to be death and destruction. Lord willing, like we said, Father, close, we're giving all glory and honor to Yahweh Shai, Shai, Shalom.